Hello, this is Russel Smith with Grow It Now Garden Products. I'm here with you today to talk about the garden cloche. This is the end of our growing season. We're in the middle of September in a zone 4, and one thing that we have found as the most successful product on the market for protecting against wind, cold weather, frost, hail, snow, it's this gardening cloche. Here are the 3 products that were invented by our design team. We have the 11-inch miniature greenhouse, the 18-inch miniature greenhouse, and the 36-inch miniature greenhouse. What these do is they protect from the wind. By bending the tabs up, you can stake them down into the ground and they will give you the best optimal wind protection on the market. There's nothing else out there that will protect from the wind like this gardening cloche. Now, in most cases, you can use just a 6-inch garden staple. It goes down through there in all 4 sides. That will hold it down. But in the case of this raised bed garden here out in the middle of the field, you have to use a longer garden staple. We have a 10-inch garden staple here, and that goes in. That'll stake it down. That'll give it a little more protection. If you need more than that, one thing that you can do is you can open up your garden staple just like this and put a little tab up at the top, and now you've got a longer garden staple that can go down in there and hold that down from the wind. There's no reason that these should blow away if you stake them down correctly. And one thing that we've found as you monitor and look at when the most wind comes, it's always in the spring. And how big are your plants in the spring? They're only about 6 inches tall. So they get that heavy wind whip, and that wind whip is what keeps it from growing to its full potential. So this is going to be your ultimate gardening cloche for wind protection. Let's talk about something else here. It also acts as a miniature greenhouse. It warms the air and soil. You've got the ability to close the top here, and you can leave it closed all day, all night. It'll warm the air and soil. It'll make the greenhouse environment inside, allowing that plant to grow in a greenhouse environment. It's got a tab here at the top that you can put a bamboo stake down. If you need a supporting garden stake to hold your plants up, you can put that up through this tab. It also has the tabs on the bottom. Just bend them up like this and stake them down. You will not have any issues with wind, and you will get that added benefit of the greenhouse, the extra warmth, and what that will do is promote the plant growth. So use the garden cloche for 1, protecting from the wind, 2, warming the air and soil and giving it the greenhouse environment. Now let's talk about the third thing that the gardening cloche works on: protecting your plants from early and late season frosts. If you're starting your cold hardy crops, get them in the ground early. Start them as soon as the soil can be worked. As soon as the soil can be worked does not mean that you're not going to have a snow fly, that you're not going to have a really cold 18-degree day. But your cold hardy crops include your cabbage, cauliflower, broccoli, Brussels sprouts. Get them in the ground as soon as the soil can be worked, and get the miniature greenhouses over top of them. As you look at our early gardening season, as we planted our cabbage, cauliflower, and broccoli, and we put the gardening cloche over top of it, you can see we had 6 inches of snow on top of these things. We had temperatures down to 18 degrees for 3 days straight. Every night it got down to 18 degrees, and the high during the day was 35, 36 degrees. And my cabbage, cauliflower, and broccoli had no problem getting through that, because these garden cloches kept them warm during the day. They warmed it up, and they kept them from getting the snow on top of them and kept the frost from biting the leaves and biting the plant. So if you look at our video from our late season, instead of using grandma's quilts, use the giant garden cloche to go over your plants to keep them protected from the late season frost. They will also enhance the fruit ripening of the plant. And so what you're going to get here is you're going to get ripe tomatoes, vine ripened tomatoes later in the season. And you can see we've been doing that with this one here, and we have just been getting tomatoes like crazy weeks after the first killer frost. So a recap on why you should use the gardening cloche: 1, to protect from the wind; 2, provide a greenhouse environment for the plant to grow in; 3, protect from early and late season frost; and 4, enhance the ripening of your fruit, of your tomatoes, of your peppers, whatever it is, it'll enhance the ripening by warming the air and warming the soil. Again, this is Russel Smith, Grow It Now Garden Products. Use the gardening cloches to have a better gardening experience next spring.